Hi, everybody. All right, so remember we talked about going live with Iyanla Vanzant every Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time as part of Women's Wellness Wednesdays. And so today's Wednesday, and that's why I'm here. So we're just waiting on Iyanla to get here. I don't think I see her yet in the comments. What up, Dubai? Hey, Detroit. Those of you from Detroit, I have Kiera sheared after Iyanla here at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also, for those of you that want to be eligible for the $1,000 a day giveaway, we're posting that video now on our page as well. Iyanla's here. Let me go live. We made it another week.
I did it. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of myself.
By the time this is over, you're going to be a tech guru.
Listen, I went live on 2 platforms today. I was so excited I could barely stand myself.
Yeah, listen, so how's the last week been for you?
Oh, good. You know what? I tell you, I'm having a ball.
Really?
I am home. I'm doing all the things that I love. Today I made I have a line of body products and health things. And so today I made a batch of room spray, because people are so into, we got to be away from each other. So yeah. I made a batch of peace and calm room spray. I got my herbs over there and I prayed on it and I set it up. So I'm having a ball. I could stay in for the rest of the year.
Nah, we can't do that.
Yeah, I could.
Let me tell you. So I told my team to order all the stuff we talked about in the last live, and it hasn't gotten here yet. So by the time we're here next week, I will have them in my arms. If I don't use them all up by then. But no, I had to give myself permission to be stressed out. I don't know what it is. I can't get to the place of peace where you are.
Why? What are you stressing about?
I don't know. I think one thing for sure is intimacy. Like
I was going to ask you, are you in a relationship?
No, it's being by myself, not being able to touch another human being, even if it's hugging or shaking a hand or just, I miss that. And then I think I'm going through withdrawals. I think a lot of people are too, because I see in the comments, people are saying that they're just stressed out because they're not able to interact right now with other people.
But you know what? I love that word, intimacy, which for me is an acronym for into me see. Into me see. So sometimes when we have the opportunity to see within ourselves, that does raise stress because it challenges all of the programming and the conditioning and the stories that we've been telling ourselves about ourselves. And because so very often we think that what we've been through is who we are. Mm-hmm. We're afraid if we go within, we're going to bump into that stuff again. So yeah, I can see how that would create stress, but mm-hmm. You got to go in there. You got to see it,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it, I think, for me now has become more mental. I mean, yes, we know like the antibody tests are out now. I'm going to take that because I think I got really sick earlier this year, so I think I had it. And we see some developments happening. So I know it's all psychological, but a lot of people, when we talked about wellness, when we left last week, I got so many messages and comments and DMs and emails. People were really, they really liked the words that you were giving them. I think people, are trying to find peace,
Well, the thing is that you can't find peace. You have to be peace. Peace starts in the heart. And how, let me plug my phone in because it just said low battery. What this is also showing us is how revved up we are all the time. I think people are just having a real hard oh, wait a minute. Can you still see me?
Yep, I see you.
Oh, wait. Oh, I done turned the phone around. Okay. Ooh, me and the technology. That's what I need you youngins to teach me because I'm just a mess when it comes to the technology. I'm sorry. But I think it's also showing us, you know, how we're so accustomed to being revved up all the time, always moving, always doing, always sitting. You know, we don't know how to be still. We can't even try to, we can't even stay on a program. You know, I watch, like in the morning when I do my message, how the number goes from 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000, back down to 1,000. People have no span of attention. You know, I
Right.
don't know how they make love unless they doing lickety split quickies all the time. I'm old, so you got to move slow. I don't do quickies anymore. But they can't maintain their attention. And the other thing is that it also speaks to, even though we don't know it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my phone here.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm sorry, people. It also speaks to the lack of control we have over our mind. And
Facts. That
all
part.
wellness begins in the mind. And we have lost total control over our minds. We need the stimulation as opposed to the smoothness or the free flowing of the river. And that's why I think meditation is so important, why breath work is so important, particularly for young people, you know, who grew up on devices. I didn't grow up on devices. That's why I can't master the devices right now. I tell you, I want to put an ad in the New York Times and tell them that I worked 2 devices today.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that I've never spent this much time to myself.
That's sad.
I know. I thought, like, I haven't been in my house. I haven't been by myself for 2 months ever, like that I can remember ever.
Really?
So I think it's like my mind is racing with the stuff that I need to work on, with the stuff that is just, I mean, it's driving me nuts, you know? And it's so crazy.
Well, you have to learn how to breathe. You have to learn how to breathe. You've got to do 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes of conscious breathing. That's for everybody. If we're talking about wellness, you have to gain control of your mind. You know, there in the revolutionary movement back in the 60s, you were still a tadpole in your daddy's back in the 60s. They told us those who control the words and images control the minds of the people. And so everybody on these devices, their minds are controlled and they jump from here to there. But in this time that we're living in right now, this is what this is all about. Part of it, you know, of what it's all about is that we really have to gain control of our minds. We've got to learn how to be still. We've got to get still. We just have to.
So did you watch, I want to, because it just popped up on my TV and I'm talking to Kiera, Sheared next. Did you watch the Clark Sisters show on Lifetime? You didn't see it? You don't watch
it on?
It was
on already? Yeah. I know the person who did the music for it. I didn't know it was on. You know, I watched 3 things on television. God forgive me. I watched reruns of Law and Order.
Me too, SVU.
No, I do the original.
Okay.
And last night, you know, it comes on Sunday all day, and then Tuesday night from like 7 at night to 1 in the morning. So last night was Law and Order. So I'll go back and I'll watch it because I try to support everything. But I do know the person who did the music. So I watch Law and Order. I watch OWN. I watch OWN. And I watch Top Chef.
Do you ever watch your own shows back?
No.
You don't?
No, because it's not entertainment for me. For me, it's a client, and I've done some work with them, and then I have to pray them through. So I don't go back and watch it because I want to pull them forward. I don't want to be stuck where they were when they came to me. I know people watch it as entertainment, but for me, it's clinical. It's not it would be like going in to do a surgery again. No, you don't do that. You know, once the surgeon sews you up, you're done. And now he does the recovery. So that's how I think of my shows.
Do you read comments on social media?
No, not really. Only in my thread sometimes when because people ask questions or they need information or whatever. But I like, don't tell nobody. I didn't know what the shade room was. I didn't know what it was.
Really?
No. What? I'm old. What am I doing in the shade room? I need dark. If they had a dark room, I would know about that. I didn't know what the shade room was. The shade room, but I do every now and then, because my daughter watches it. I catch Love and Hip Hop, but there's so many. I was looking for the New York people in Atlanta and the Atlanta people in Miami. So
Listen,
I got confused.
Iyanla, I know you don't know this, and all the people watching would vote for me to be #1 on Fix Your Life because I'm on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and in many ways, I need.
Are you?
To be. Oh, I am.
I didn't know there was a Hollywood. I'm telling you, I was looking for the New York people, the Atlanta people in New York, and the New York people in Miami. So that really did not work well for me. And I was like, well, where is so-and-so? And they said, well, he's on LA. And I'm like, I didn't know there was, but I watch. You know?
Yeah. And, I will say, the laughter is good. It's healing. Like, I feel really, I'm going to be stressed after the call, but.
What? Wait a minute. I see a thing here. Let me see this. Why do light-skinned women tend to be more attractive than...
Who said that? Who said that?
Are you freaking kidding me?
Who said that?
Somebody. I don't know. How do I know who said it? It's just
in the comments. Let me scroll up. Hold on.
Why do light-skinned women tend to be more attractive than dark?
I'm not gonna say the name, but I see it. This person is no, hold on. This person is doing what we call on social media trolling. They're trolling to get this response because this is what people have learned to do in order to get our attention. This is why I asked, do you read the comments? I don't even read the comments no more because they will drive you to another place.
Because this is the 21st century. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Light skin and dark skin. You know what? Your mama raised you better than that. Go somewhere and sit down with yourself.
But we live in a world now, I think I had told you before, where I get accused all the time. Oh, he doesn't like dark-skinned women. And I'm thinking, like, are you serious? Because I'm light-skinned or because my mother's white? Or where does the color, if I say I don't like, I don't like what Sherry Shepherd said, it's because she's not a light-skinned woman. Well, to what degree is she dark-skinned? I don't understand.
Let me, those who control the words and images control the minds of the people. And we still live in a society that promotes white and light as superior. We really do. But I just thought that we had become a little more educated. And I didn't think that, somebody would have the cojones, cojones, okay, to say something like that out loud and disrespect. So, see, that's what it is for me. When we talk about wellness, we're not just talking about sound and body. We're talking about sound and mind, sound and heart, sound and spirit. We're talking about doing those things that promote soundness and goodness and kindness and compassion all over. And I think some of us, everybody, black, white, all, because I work with all kind of people. I think that we've just been so programmed and conditioned to this hair trigger response and these conditioned beliefs that we don't ever really tap into the wellness that's in our heart, and the wellness that we are. We are so powerful, Jason. You are so powerful. And so I wonder, what is the greatness that you have to do that the deceptive intelligence keeps you from using anxiety? Anxiety. Right. There's something calling you, bigger calling you, and they know the way we can stop him or the way we can stop it. And when I say they, I just mean the deceptive intelligence, the ego, the underbelly, the subconscious mind. Let's stop him by making him anxious. And then you get all into the anxiety. Okay, so you got anxiety. So what now what? So what now what? Be anxious and move anyway.
Right.
Be afraid and move anyway.
Even the way you just responded to that comment and being calm and logical and straightforward. I mean, like, I think it's just, I don't know. I think you're just such a good example of, I don't know if it's maturity, if it's patience, if it's whatever, all of that, that we all need right now.
I'm not externally referenced. My, again, wellness, I'm very well spiritually. I'm very well emotionally. Mentally, I have some challenges because I can't remember nothing. But I'm very well spiritually and emotionally. Mentally, I have a well-developed mind because I didn't grow up on technology. I grew up reading. I know I own over 10,000 books, most of which I have read. I have 3 libraries in my house. One library is simply sacred books. I have over 400 Bibles. I have about 60 Qurans. I have the Bhagavad Gita. I have the Torah. I have, you name it, I got it in one room. That's my prayer room. And then I have a library in the basement that's probably 9 feet tall and maybe, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units across, 8 shelves in each unit, books that I've read. And then in my office.
And you've read all those books?
Yeah, I did. Because I didn't have a well-developed mind. I grew up in poverty and dysfunction and violence and abuse, and I didn't have a well-developed mind until I went to law school. Law school taught me how to think. Most of us don't know how to think. We know how to react. We know how to criticize. We know how to judge. We know how to shut down, but we don't know how to think. Thinking is an analytical process, and every thought is like an electrical current, and it will stimulate an emotion, or you'll have an emotion, a sensation that will stimulate a thought. But we haven't learned how to think and how to respond to those thoughts. I don't have to respond to every thought. I don't have to respond to every stimuli coming in. So that's another part of wellness. That's another part of wellness. Getting out the story, come out of the story and get into the truth. And nobody's teaching us that anymore.
Do you sell a gratitude journal?
I have a gratitude journal and a prayer journal. I do my gratitude every single day.
That you have available?
No, I don't sell one. That's so funny you should ask me that, because everybody's been telling me to do it. You know what? Help me. See, here's where you young people can help me. I'm not good at selling. I'm a horrible salesperson. I give everything away. And
if you had a gratitude journal, I'm sure I would be writing in that thing every day, because I know the way I talked about your book last time, Until Today, that helped me. It breaks it down in a very, there's a very methodical process. There's the problem or the situation. There's the story. So you could be like, oh yeah, I see that. And then there's the affirmation on how we're not going to come back here no more.
No, we're not. We're not. Yeah. We're not. But it's just like for your youngins right now, anybody that's got money issues, I'm telling people to do my prosperity process. I have a 40-day prosperity process. You can get it on my Facebook page, because even the relationship with money, people think money is for spending. It's not. It's a medium of exchange, but we need to be mindful of what we're exchanging with our money. So most of us have a dysfunctional relationship with money. We're not financially well. We're not financially well. I think bad credit is the #1 disease in the country.
Yeah. And it's a way of it's classism too. It controls everything you do, every way you move, where you can live, how you can eat, how you can provide.
But here's the thing about, and particularly about the credit score. The credit score is someone else's judgment of you. However, your credit score is a function of your personal integrity. Okay? Because everything you get on credit, when you use your credit, whether it's light bill, phone bill, credit cards, loans, you've already used what you got to pay for. If you don't buy nothing on your Visa, they don't send you a bill. Right. But if you buy something, they send you a bill. And then if you don't pay your bill as agreed on the 1st of the month, the 5th of the month, whatever, it says that you don't honor your word, that you're not a person of integrity, that you don't keep your commitments. And so then Equifax, TransUnion, then they judge you bad, good, high risk, low risk,
and how good you are and how bad you are.
Right. But we get all bent out of shape about the score and don't realize it's our lack of integrity.
It's a reflection of us. Yeah.
Yes.
I just had a moment. So I used to own a credit repair company.
Okay.
And we made a lot of money helping people, right? But I never thought about credit that way, because everybody that would come in and look at their credit score, their credit report, would be so mad at all the people who reported them and the agencies and never took responsibility, including myself.
Right. So we got to get financially healthy, because money is a symbol of power. And how you manage your money, how you think about your money, really is a reflection of how you use your power. Really, I
think the frustrating part of this whole process, I'm thinking and listening to you, is that this virus, Rona, she's outside making...
No. It's a guy.
Ron
A.
Corona. Corona is outside, forcing us to sit in here, trapped with our thoughts, trapped with the lessons that we're learning about ourselves, right? Trapped with, like, when you talk about finances, I've saved so much money because I'm now looking back on how much money I wasted. It's convenient to just get this courier to do what my team could do or what I could do, or it's easier to order my food out or order my groceries. It's just easier when that convenience came with a high price. So now when I look at like how I'm, preserving my employees or making sure I'm saving here and there, I've learned a lot about that. I think that's the motor that's running, because I would be on planes so distracted by the moving and the shaking that I would not even be as focused as I am right now. And I think a lot of people are feeling that.
Yeah. And again, they may waste their money. I won't say waste. They're not mindful with their money the same way they're not mindful with their power. People will stay in dysfunctional or inharmonious or unsatisfactory relationships the same way they'll spend $30, $40 a week buying coffee that you can make in your house for, 40 cents a cup. But we waste our power the same way because we don't value it, because we don't value ourselves, And I'm, listen, I've been fiscally irresponsible, financially irresponsible. I didn't understand money. I didn't understand the value of it. Money represents my own natural energy yield. My own natural energy yield, MONEY. So if you got low energy, you're going to have money issues. If you've got a lot of anxiety, stress, if you don't have physical wellness, if you don't have a good ownership, that was good, Jason. That's how you own it. Yeah. If you don't have good mental wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness, you'll either chase money or lose money or have a really dysfunctional relationship with money. And what the thing that's so beautiful about it, if I could just impress one thing upon the family today, when you go to the TV and you turn it on and you're watching BET, you don't know what's going on ABC. You don't know. Or if you're on CBS, you don't know what's going on TV1, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not like that. We're not, this channel and what's going on over there doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We are a organic unit. So even if you're not looking at BET, it's affecting what's going on TV1 in your being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you're not looking at your mind, it affects your heart. If you're not looking at your emotional well-being, it affects your spiritual well-being. If you're not looking at your spiritual well-being, it affects your physical well-being. We are not television sets. We are an organic unit. So I really want to impress upon people that in this time that we have, and I know a lot of people are still working and stuff, but things are laxed and whatever, really get intimate. Into me, see what's going on inside of you. Are you still mad at Boo Boo and Kafada because they left you back in 56 or 96 or whatever? Are you still mad at your daddy, your mama? Did mama like your brother better? I mean, those kinds of things. We've got to get that clear, Jason, because this is what I realized. I didn't mean to say it, but it fell out of my mouth. And so I'll take responsibility for it. Because maybe I had it in my heart, so it came out. I said, what if this virus is a demo of all of the ugliness that we've put out on social media? Same medium that we're now using to stay connected is the same people have used to.
Somebody's probably calling her phone. She'll be back. Hold on. She was about to give a word. And if for whatever reason, if we get disconnected, we will come back. Get Iyanla back. Hold on. I see you. You was about to give a word.
Corona didn't like it. He cut me off.
You was about to give a word that was too real. You know what's so funny is yesterday, Cardi B was on live with Bernie Sanders. And right as she started talking about 45 and endorsing Joe Biden and it started getting real, her sound went out. Instagram went down. Then we went live and I'm like, see, the way social media set me up, you got me following Bernie Sanders, Cardi. This is a setup.
Yeah, the corona didn't like what I was getting ready to say, but I'm going to say it anyhow. What if the virus is just a representation of how mean we've been to each other, how we've attacked each other silently, how we've creeped up on people, how we've said ugly things about right here on the same internet that's keeping us together? What if the corona is a representation of all the fathers who won't take care of their children? What if the corona is a representation of the meanness and the competition and the ugliness that exists among women? What if? What if the corona is simply the manifestation of what we've been holding in our hearts and our minds? What if? I don't know any of this to be true. But I do know that by the time it shows up out in the world, people have been carrying it in their hearts and their minds. What if? What if God is the universe, the creator, whatever you call it, is really trying to show us who we are? Because we think that to get on this thing here and what they call it, catfish people, ghost people, divorce people on the internet, we think that is appropriate behavior. It is not appropriate behavior. We think to cuss somebody out using a fictitious name is okay. Well, Corona got some fictitiousness for your butt, okay?
You know what? We posted this on Hollywood Unlocked the other day. We said March was the first month in multiple years that there hasn't been a school shooting in America.
Okay. And the dolphins. The dolphins have been seen again right down in, not Myrtle Beach, down in Florida, Sarasota. They hadn't been seen in years. They've spotted the dolphins in Sarasota. They've spotted the dolphins in Italy again? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if Mother Nature is simply saying, oh my Lord, y'all are just running amok. Let me breathe. She can breathe. We're
Mm-hmm.
not pounding on her boobs,
Mm-hmm.
peeing on her trees and, spitting on her flowers and killing bugs. She can breathe. She can
Right.
breathe. So what if the corona is really just an energetic, combination of how we've been to each other?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jason, we've been so horrible to each other for so many years, and trust me, I support, us young people, particularly young people, because you all have the courage to do things I would never have the courage to do. But, I'll just say, like, the amount of violence that I see perpetrated against, let me tell you something. Okay. Let me tell you, I come from Brooklyn. You'd only have one chance to throw a drink in my face. And you would, first of all, when I got done with your behind, you wouldn't even drink no more. You wouldn't even drink no water. Okay.
Right.
I see this repetitive behavior on these shows of women throwing drinks on each other and jumping. I mean, it was what, 5-6 years ago now that I had a conversation with Evelyn Lozada about that what is wrong with you? Do you understand that your grandmother laid in the bottom of a ship so that you could have a television show? And you gonna get on there and throw a drink in another woman's face? Come here and let me slap the taste out your mouth.
Listen, I threw a drink. That's why I'm not ready for I Fix My Life. When you see it, I'm going to send you. I just did a link on me and all my problematic behavior. I'm going to send it to you so you can look at it.
Oh,
But
my
I
Lord.
haven't thrown a drink since I prayed up. I don't
But
want
let
no
me ask you, help me, because I want to understand. Talk to me about that process.
Okay.
Let's walk through the process.
Okay. So when I first got on Love and Hip Hop, I'd never done reality TV. And I thought, it's reality TV. I'm just going to show up and be myself. It's very simple. And not understanding how TV is produced. And I'm not blaming producers, because I take responsibility for anything that I do with my hands, my mouth, whatever I do it. And so I'm in total control, or I thought, right? So when I got on the show, I walked into the show saying I'm an openly gay man, but I do not want my sexuality to be a topic on the show my first season, because I want the world to see me. I don't want them to see my sexuality, and I don't want to be exploited. I don't want this to be a circus act, because I'm not trying to be famous. I'm trying to use the platform to launch my business. When I got on the show, I was in a private relationship with somebody who wasn't out, and he's publicly known. And I got into it with a woman who, if you would have told me I would have threw a drink on a woman, I would have bet you every dollar in my bank account that I would not have done that, because I have 5 sisters. I had a mother who, struggled with drug addiction, and I see the strength of a woman.
Know. I know. Now I know who you are. Okay. I've seen a couple of them. Okay, go ahead.
So in the argument with her, where, we try to rip each other down, and
tell me about that. What's going on?
It was a conversation of where each of us were trying, with Hazel E. and me.
Well, I did Hazel.
I know. I saw it. It was an amazing episode. But it was this competition between both of us to tear each other down.
Why? Tell me why.
Because I think what I learned, at least I can't say for her, I'll say for me, the cameras were on, and I felt very vulnerable. I felt very, oh my God, I gotta win. I felt,
okay.
That's what I really was feeling. Now, the drink throwing came out of fear. People thought it was over being angry or being mad. I felt all the judgment I had never felt for being gay. I had never been called a faggot until I did that show. I had never had nobody disrespect me. My family and I had never had the conversation. The boy that I was dealing with was not out. And it was just so much that I had to get out. And I literally
felt attacked. Did you feel attacked?
And then when I threw the drink, I felt embarrassed, because here I am, a person that thought he was in control, but was really afraid and out of control.
Okay.
And all that was happening at once. And it was just, it was my first scene I had ever done TV. And then I felt like, oh, then I knew every day after that, the judgment's coming. Once it airs, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And then when it came, I started playing into that character, that defending, not defending the behavior, but more so acting like it didn't bother me when I knew that it did.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to fix your life, but I want to ask you this. Have you ever forgiven yourself for that? I mean, really?
I haven't.
That would be a no.
Yeah. I haven't forgiven myself for losing control.
Okay, but right, that's the part. For losing control, for thinking that vulnerability was a bad thing or a weakness, because just because you're gay, you're still a man.
Mm-hmm.
And weakness is kryptonite to a man. He can't be weak, you know, and forgive yourself for thinking you have to be in control. And I'm saying this to you, but I'm saying this to anybody who's engaged in, you know, that kind of explosive behavior. Because until you forgive yourself, it's prone to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was a young woman, I had a long-term relationship with a married man. Ultimately, I married him, but our relationship began and he was a married man. And you know, he wasn't with his wife. They were separated and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, one day it got clear. If he's married and you are not, you are in relationship with a married man. Is that who you are? Would you want that done to you? And that's where I really got clear about the statement, I'm not my sister's keeper. I am my sister. And eventually we separated, and I carried that thing, the guilt and the shame of it, the embarrassment of it, all of that for many years until I really forgave myself. So I want to encourage you to really do some forgiveness work, so that you don't have that. That may be some of your anxiety. Am I going to be vulnerable again? Am I going to lose control again? Am I going to, what are people going to say about me? You know, whatever. I told you this before, and I'll say it again before your audience. You know, as a woman, once your boobs fall, judgments are, you know, they judge me, hell, you know, because there's nothing you can do to get the girls to stand back up. They have laid down. They ain't getting back up. And, you know, I don't care how much you spend, $80, $100 on the push-up bra, when you take it off, they falling back down. So you become kind of insensitive to judgments.
No, but you know, it's crazy. You know, when I realized that I hadn't worked through it, the first time I interviewed you, when you came on my show, and I had all this respect for you and your contributions to my life, to my healing during my brother, all this, and I felt like, oh, I don't want her to know, you know. And I live, people that know me, that know me through this, right, or my shows, or whatever, they'll be like, yo, Jason just don't care about, he ain't afraid of nothing, but they don't realize, like, you know, we need to have permission to forgive ourselves as much as we have permission to forgive other people.
Yes, you have to give yourself permission to forgive yourself. You have to give yourself permission for the frailties of your humanness, because then we have this false sense of perfection. You know, I have to be this, I have to be that, I have to do this. And it is hard. And I do understand. That's why I will not allow a script. I will not allow a record on the set of Fix My Life. I never see my guests until they hit the door, because I don't want to have any preconceived note. No, I don't.
So you don't even, there's no beats on what the issues are, none of that?
Well, I know what the issues are based on what they write. Okay. I know what the issues are based on their Skype interview, but they have never been in the same space with me. I won't talk to them on the phone. I don't send them an email, because I know that once we get in the space together, if it's not totally authentic, they're going to be playing to the camera. You know, they're going to try to say again
what they
told me
predict where
before.
you're going to go with it. Yeah.
Right. They don't know where I'm going.
That's why when you did the Fix My Life with the young girl who had been abducted.
Right.
And that was, you could see that that's reality TV. Yeah. Because it's real.
She was just too young, and she was too young. She didn't have the cognitive development, neither did her family. And I was good until, you know, my son works on the set. And so when she threatened to cut my heart out with a knife, and I could see my son out the corner of my eye, I said, okay, this is not going to turn out well. Let me get her up out of here, because somebody getting ready to get hurt, okay?
But she later found the courage to tell her story, so.
Yes, she did. And God bless her. You know, it was her and that she was abductive, but the issues of the story, and that's what we try to do, is speak to the issues. The issue of the story of letting people get away with bad behavior, of being overly submissive because of guilt or whatever. You know, the father couldn't correct her because he was scared she was going to go away. Just whatever the issues are. They apply to everybody, you know. Your story, being a man who behaved badly one time or who acted out because of fear or vulnerability, and you owned it. You said, I felt vulnerable and I was afraid, and then blah, 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 you know, the stories going on in the mind. So that's why I say do your inner work so that you can get well around that, and don't carry that.
I didn't like the way she talked to you though, and I
Who?
mean, you controlled yourself way better than I think the typical
The
person
young girl?
would. Yeah.
She was 19. Do you understand? I got underwear older than her. I can't get upset with her. I got underwear that's outdate her. What the hell? She's a baby. She is a baby.
Right.
You know? And
right.
she was, I can't. And they come to me for help. They come to me for help. I can't get mad at, you know, when the surgeon is doing surgery on you and he cuts you and blood spills on his shoes, was he going to smack you in the head because you bled on his shoes? No. I can't get upset with these people, whoever they are. And I love them. I love people, you know, so I don't get upset with them. We should take some questions.
Yeah, before getting into their question, I have to ask you one thing. So Iyanla has a new podcast called Love from a Distance. You had Susie Orman on. How did that go?
Oh, she laid it out. Susie said, do not be worried about your FICO score. And she said, you know, pay what has to be paid. And if it don't have to be paid, don't pay it. You know, if you can get a deferment, if you can push it to the end, she said, pay what has to be paid. Pay your minimum on your credit cards. Don't try to pay your credit. She said, don't use your stimulus money to pay off your credit cards. And she said, in any place that you're having a hard time, there are 3 words. Could you please? Could you please give me an extension? Could you please help me? Could you please, you know? She said, because in this time, we've got to help each other. She said, and then when this is all over, that the community of humanity will, if they have to rise up and go to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and that nothing that happened in this time should impact anybody's credit score because it's just their judgment. She said, this is of no fault of our own. So could you please pay what has to be paid and ask everybody else for an extension? She laid it out. It was beautiful. And she said that people who are having money fears and challenges, it's because they're not strong inside. The way we're going to get through this thing is from the inside.
So everybody asking if you could talk to Iyanla every day. You probably can't talk directly to her every day, except for on her Facebook and the podcast. So you could go there and get something from it, because I mean, you're having conversations for the soul, and I just feel like right now we're all trying to find that, including myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just gotta get still. Get still.
Well, yeah. I got the Calm app and I downloaded your app. So I'm so apped out at this point. I'm just going to keep listening. You're going to come to deliver stuff at my door and they're going to hear waves and Matthew McConaughey talking. This person said, what's the first step to forgiving yourself for your past actions?
Tell the absolute truth about it. Don't give no excuses. Don't cut no corners. Don't make excuses. I slept with a married man and I knew he was married and I knew his wife. Okay. I did.
Don't get no more.
Yes, I did.
It don't get no
Okay.
more honest than that.
Okay. And that's what happens. You got to tell the absolute truth about it. And then look at the feelings that you've attached to it: shame, guilt, blame, judgment, disappointment, whatever you've attached to it. And start by really trying to identify. That's what I was asking you. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? What made you think this was okay? And then you say, I was thinking that people were going to judge me. Now you forgive that thought. I forgive myself.
Mhm. No, I'm here. Yep, I'm here.
Pointed in myself. And then I forgive myself for sleeping with somebody's husband. So you
Mm.
got to look at it. You've got to tell the truth about it. You've got to forgive the thought. You've got to forgive the feeling. You've got to forgive the belief. Okay. But and give yourself permission to do all of that.
Mm. Okay, how long is it too long to wait for an engagement?
What?
How long is how long is too long to wait for an engagement?
I don't understand what that means. What do you mean? So you're dating somebody and you want to get married? Well, what is the meaning that you're giving to engagement? What
Right.
is the meaning? I don't understand. How long is too long? Is that what you want to be engaged, or do you want to be married? What do you
Right.
want?
Right. Right.
Listen, hear me. Watch my lips. Can you see my lips are moving? Can you see my lips?
Yeah.
All bets are off. All bets are off. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. See, I think you're asking me that question because you know this person is not going to ask you to marry them. You
Mm.
know, marry you. You know they playing you. And you
Mm.
think that if you get engaged to them, that that's somehow going to give you a stronghold. No. If this is not the relationship that you want, get out. Get
Mm.
out. Get out. Because what do you want? You want to be engaged? So you get engaged and you stay engaged for 15 years? What do you want? Ask for it and be willing not to get it from that person. From that person. Okay, let me
Mm.
shut up.
Mm. How do you deal with a narcissistic man?
I, what that mean? What is a narcissistic man? No, let me, I see that question. Cross out how and put why. Why?
Why?
I don't even know what everybody's narcissistic. I'm narcissistic. You're narcissistic. Are you talking about cruel, abusive, self-centered? Are you getting what you want out of the relationship? Period. Here it is again. I think I said this last week, but I'll say it again. You don't get to tell people how to love you. You get to see how they love and then choose if you want to participate. If that's how he loves, you got to say, I don't choose to participate in that. You don't get to tell people how to love. They love the way they love. They love to fulfill their needs. They love the way they learn. How they love is one thing. Your question is, am I going to participate in this kind of loving?
Or
And if you
or
don't,
or or, or a shortcut answer is go to YouTube and watch Iyanla's episode with Karuchi.
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I think you kind of broke it all down there.
okay.
How do I find peace in close quarters as a single mother of two?
Oh, any way you can. When the kids go to bed, get in the tub. And why can't you have peace with the children? Teach them how to sit down. Get that Calm app. They have stuff on there for kids, age appropriate stuff. You give them, they need to know how to do time out. They need to know how to do quiet time. They need to know how to pray. They need to know how to breathe. They need to know how to meditate. You're a single mother of two, but you're raising two human beings. Teach them the things that they need to know to discipline their mind, discipline their heart, discipline their spirit. You know, teach them how to do it. That's what you have to do. I don't know how old they are, but
Mm-hmm.
my great grandson that ran and crawled up in my arms, he'll be 3 in September. And when I say, okay, come on, time to breathe. He goes sit down and he breathe. He got his little chair and we sit there and we breathe.
You know, I forgot. I've been watching Kim Kardashian and her daughter, who keeps interrupting all her little videos. That back in the day, you would be it's nap time. You know, you got
That's
to
right.
go lay down, even if you don't want to lay down. Even if
That's
you
right.
can't fall asleep, you got to lay down.
You got to go take a nap, cool
take
out,
a nap.
time out. But we don't. We can teach our children that, and then you make your time. You know, I get up at 5:30 in the morning. Even right now, I get up at 5:30 in the morning because my first prayer call is at 6:30. So between 5:30 and 6:30, I have to do my shower. I have to do my prayer, my breath, so that I can be ready for my prayer call at 6:30. I get off my 6:30 prayer call. I come downstairs. I make my coffee. My next prayer call is at 7:15. So by 7:30, I've been up 2 hours, you know, and I'm straight. I'm straight, as they would say,
Right.
for the day. So you know what? If you got to stay up a little later after they go to bed, if you got to get up a little earlier, or just teach them, this is mommy's time. You see that commercial? There's a commercial that comes on, and they say, you've given the children all of your thing, but don't give them your something she's eating. And the kid knocks on the bathroom door, says, Ma, she says, it's Dad. And they go away.
Right. Okay, this person, okay, I'd say go to iyanlavanzant.com, but also on our website, hollywoodunlocked.com. We did a whole write-up last week. We're going to do one again this week, and we're going to put all the links to all the different things that Iyanla offered on the last time we got together. But people want to know more of, they want to get more into wellness. Where should they research?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I want to get more into wellness. That makes it a doing. How about I want to be well? I want to know my wellness. Then your research will be about your state of being. Simple things. Learn how to breathe. Learn how to meditate. Learn how to pray. Look up mindfulness videos. Listen to lectures on mindfulness so that you can be fully present in the moment, every moment. Yeah. Don't make it a doing. Make it a being.
Okay, and the last question, what books can you suggest for beginners of self-healing and growing?
Well, of course, Jason's book, Until Today.
It's the only book that I know I can personally recommend, that I know works.
Okay, Until Today. And I would also recommend, of my books, One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. I would highly recommend that. Why? Because it tells the story, it gives an example, and it has a work page. And you can do it over and over and over and over. One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. And, you know, I don't know what areas you really want to work on, but I can recommend Until Today because it's based on spiritual principles. And One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. That's my work. Now, there's so much, you know, I don't even know where to go. But I think that anybody really looking to get into self-healing and growth, you need to start with the 4 agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz. If you can master those 4 agreements, I'm not going to tell you what they are because I want you to go see them. But the one that I know people, be impeccable with your word. That's one. That could take you 5 years. Be impeccable with your word. That means do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Say what you mean what you say. Speak only the truth. Speak only those things that promote healing. If you could just be impeccable with your word. But look at One Day My Soul Just Opened Up, Until Today, and the 4 agreements. I think that's good. That's good juice.
Okay, well, what are you going to do for the rest of the day?
Well, you know, I'm on tonight at 8 o'clock with the NAACP. We're looking at, you know, what families can do when they have family members who are incarcerated, because that's huge.
I'm dealing with that right now in Kansas.
The prisons are going to be grave sites, you know, and I think I told you that my grandson is incarcerated in Georgia. Well, he's in jail. He hasn't even been charged, you know, but Chicago, they have Cook County Jail, 300 cases of the corona there. And they've got people in there for 2 pounds of marijuana. we've got to do.
I'm dealing with somebody right now in Kansas that I'm trying to get out. First time offender, 1 pound of marijuana, 8 years. He's already served 3 years. First time offender. So I've just started the process. I went live on Instagram with him. There's thousands of comments on the governor's page. I've been in touch with him, but now I see how broken the system is internally in just trying to advocate for a hearing, just trying to get people to look at the case. So it's been an interesting thing. So where can we watch the conversation tonight?
I don't know. Go to the NAACP.
I'll get it from you. I'll get it from you on text, and I'll put it in this story that we're going to write up on the site.
Okay. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make some turkey meatballs and spaghetti because that's what my grandson likes. And Billy, my turtle, is down in the pool. So I've got to go dry him off and bring him up. And then what's tonight? Tonight is Wednesday. Nothing on good tonight. So I'll probably sew.
There's no Love and Hip Hop tonight. That's Monday night.
No Love and Hip Hop. Okay. Oh, Monday. Okay. And no Law and Order either. Okay.
I know. Well,
and no Top Chef.
Thank you for taking time, and thank you to the cable man who came and made this all possible.
I know. So be good to everybody. Be good. Have a good day. Take good care of yourself, okay?
Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.